So last week, Britney Spears, she testified in her conservatorship case, and she wants this thing over. So how is it that we have a mother of two? She's 39. She's churning out new music. She's raking in tens of millions of dollars from concerts. How is it that this conservatorship is still going? She has lawyers. She's paying for all the lawyers. She's paying for therapists. She's paying for all these managers. She's paying for everybody. Like, everybody is on the gravy train. So when all of those people are asked, hey, should this end? They're like, nope, we don't think it should. Why? Because we're making a crap ton of money here, and we don't think it should end. Let's keep this thing going. I mean, it seems like that could be happening when she's paying for both sides of everything. Isn't it in everyone's best interest to just keep this thing going? I'm sure that's not what's happening. Maybe. So Britney Spears' father, Jamie Spears, he has been in charge of her conservatorship since 2008. And in California, a conservatorship is when someone is appointed to take care of someone else's affairs who can't take care of them themselves. So that is the situation that Britney Spears is in right now. In November 2020, the court appointed a co-conservator, Bessemer Trust, and then in February, just a few months ago, Britney asked that her father be suspended, but that request was denied. So just last week, Britney testified in a hearing, and part of her testimony was that she wants this conservatorship to end. And according to court documents going back as far as 2014, she has wanted this conservatorship to end. Now here's part of the problem. Before the judge can actually end the conservatorship, Britney has to file a petition requesting that this conservatorship end, and she has not done that. That was not the subject of the hearing, and that wasn't before the judge. So her asking for this conservatorship to end in her testimony isn't going to end the conservatorship. Her lawyer is going to have to file a petition to do that. Now, in part of Britney's testimony, she talked about how she wanted to have a baby. And I found this part the most troubling, because if this is true, this is really troubling. So in this testimony, Britney says that she had this IUD put in. And an IUD is, it's this, you know what, ask your mom. I'm not going to tell you. Or your dad. Or your birthing person. I'm not going to say what it is. But anyway, this is Britney's testimony where she talked about how she wanted to have a baby, but they're not letting her. I want to be able to get married and have a baby. I was told right now in the conservatorship I'm not able to get married or have a baby. I have a IUD inside of myself right now so I don't get pregnant. I wanted to take the IUD out so I could start trying to have another baby, but this so-called team will let me go to the doctor to take it out because they don't want me to have any more children. So how could this be the case? How could they be stopping her from having a baby if she wants to have a baby? Well, in the state of California, there was a California Supreme Court decision back in 1985, and this was from the conservatorship of Valerie N. And in this case, the California Supreme Court concluded that there was a constitutional right to choose sterilization, and reasoned that a woman who is mentally disabled or incapable of making her own decisions should have a right to have her conservators decide that she be sterilized. Now, that's not the case here, but that's one court case in California that has to do with conservatorships and someone's reproductive rights. Now let's look at another. We have a statute from California. This is a separate California statute that has a clear and convincing evidence standard of proof that applies to medical consent by conservators in general. And then in 2013, another California appeals court concluded that a conservator could consent to medical procedures if sterilization was an incidental rather than primary purpose for these otherwise legitimate medical procedures. So it could be that some of those legal threads in there are where the court is justifying this conservatorship to say that Britney can't have babies right now. So I didn't really dig into that in a ton of detail, but I at least hit some of the case law and statutes in California that might be how the court is justifying Britney not being able to have children. If that is in fact what's happening, I'm just assuming that testimony is true and that's what's going on. It seems like there could be some basis under California law as to how that could happen. But it just seems very strange, right? Like if she's out there making millions and millions of dollars, she had a residency in Vegas for a while, she's doing this new music, but yet she can't have kids. Like what is happening? Like this is one of those reasons why you do not let the government encroach on your individual liberties and rights, because the more you do, things like this could happen, assuming that it is true and it is what's happening. It's very troubling if she's doing all those other things and she can't have children. All right, I probably hit on that point enough, but this is probably what bothered me the most, because if this is true and if they're preventing her from doing that, I find it very problematic. There are a lot of people online talking, saying, well, maybe Britney is just really bad with her money and maybe she's got some really serious drug issues. And they really have a point. I mean, name one other person in Hollywood who isn't good with their money and they have drug problems. Okay, isn't that all of Hollywood? Can you name one person who doesn't have a drug problem in Hollywood? I'll wait. She talked about a time when there was a dance move that they wanted her to do that she didn't want to do, and I guess they called her therapist and had a big freak out about it. I mean, she's Britney Spears. If she doesn't want to do a dance move, she doesn't have to, okay? She talked about how she didn't want to do additional runs in Las Vegas, and they basically made her continue to work in Las Vegas when she wanted to stop. It was clear from the statement that Britney really is not happy with her conservatorship. Now again, we're not getting the whole story. There's another side. I'm sure there are things that the judge knows that we don't know, that aren't part of the record. And so it's very hard to second guess some of this stuff when you only know, one side of the story. But here's part of the testimony where Britney talks about how unhappy she was. I've lied and I've told the whole world I'm okay and I'm happy. It's a lie. I thought maybe if I said that enough, maybe I might become happy, because I've been in denial. I've been in shock. I am traumatized. Fake it till you make it. But now I'm telling you the truth, okay? I'm not happy. I can't sleep. I'm so angry. It's insane. And I'm depressed. I cry every day. Britney really wants this conservatorship to end, but she does not want to have any more evaluations. The main reason why I'm here is because I want you to end the conservatorship without having to be evaluated. Okay, now that seems a little suspect. Look, I am a Britney fan. I like her. I'm just saying, when she says, but I don't want to be evaluated again, look, to have the conservatorship terminated, there's going to be lots of evaluations and lots of papers filed. There's going to have to be a lot proven in order to end this thing. Because there had to have been a lot proven in the first place to put it in place. So to undo it, there's going to be a hurdle that you have to jump over to undo this thing, and an evaluation for sure is going to happen. There's going to be a lot of things that would have to happen before this conservatorship will end. So what's going to happen in this case? Well, the conservatorship is not going to end anytime soon because they haven't filed the petition to end it. They haven't even filed anything. And from how long this has been going on, it seems like there must be a lot of behind the scenes, off the record things that we just don't know that the court is taking into account. The court of public opinion is probably going to weigh on the judge a little bit, which it shouldn't. We should not have judges changing their minds based on public pressure. That's not how the rule of law works. So I mean, I hope the judge was making the right decision before this became so public. So now when it is public, we're going to stick with the same kind of decision making because it was right. I mean, if it was wrong, I hope they change it, but I have no idea. But I don't think this is going to end anytime soon because they haven't filed that petition. I believe they've also requested that this start to be sealed going forward, that it's not public anymore. But it does seem that at a minimum, Jamie Spears should be removed because it just seems like Britney doesn't like him being involved. And whether he's doing a good job, bad job, whether he's Darth Vader or whatever, or maybe he's Mr. Nice Guy Wonderful and he's just getting a bad rap, he's clearly driving Britney crazy. So at a minimum, I think they should get him removed, just so that Britney doesn't have to worry about that anymore. Whatever she's going through, I think the court could at least do that and get someone else in place there. It also seems kind of like a conflict of interest to me if Jamie Spears is making so much money off of his daughter, but then he's also being put in there to help manage everything, and he's taking percentages of deals. It seems like that's a real conflict of interest, and they need to get someone more objective in there than him. So I will try to keep my eye on this. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next week.